Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the middle of October. Now Taurus, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Taurus, I do not do personal readings, so if you get a DM from somebody, that is not me, that is somebody impersonating me. They look exactly like me, very convincing, so just do keep that in mind. I also do daily content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Now, if this message resonates, please do consider hitting that like button so other people can see the video. Subscribe for future updates and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. So I like to do a Celtic cross spread here for these middle of the month readings, if you're wondering what type of spread this is. But let's go ahead and make sure everything's in view here. I like to take 3 cards to clarify as we go along. And we'll get right into this for you, Taurus. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are good for you. All right, let me just get this all set up. Looks just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom. You have the Page of Pentacles. So this is a very nice card. This is some sort of financial or material offer potentially arriving. Could also be news that you are getting some sort of merit increase, job increase, salary increase, something like that going on. Some sort of news of the financial. Could be if you're also been looking to get into school or university, anything like that coming through as well. This is somebody who's like a studious type of person, and so you could also be taking on the quality of the Page of Pentacles. You could be taking a sort of a studious approach to life here, studying something, anything like that. So definitely like to see that, some sort of news, material news or offer coming in here for you on the bottom. Some of you are definitely in university, but not everybody. Some of you are dealing with a workplace conflict. I do try to bring in messages for career and finance as well as love and romance. There are not a ton of love messages here, so I'll try to bring it in, but really I feel like what's going on here is there is a challenge being presented, and we'll get into that as we go along, but let's go ahead and start off right away. In the middle, current situation, you have the 7 of Swords. So this, for me as a tarot reader, is a card that this is a card that I've seen play out. It's a challenge. It's probably the most challenging card for me as a reader because I've seen this happen in my life personally. I've also seen it happen in other lives, but this is lying, cheating, stealing. Okay, this is somebody stealing the swords, being deceptive, not having your best interest at heart or in mind here. And so you could be dealing with somebody undermining you, somebody gossiping about you. I've noticed that this one comes in a lot with gossip, especially workplace chatter, workplace gossip. Some of you dealing with that, okay? Some of you dealing with that in your social or your academic circle as well here. I would be very careful about what you share with people at this time because there could be a feeling of betrayal here. Now this could be self-sabotage as well, the 7 of Swords. If you're doing something to hurt you in some way, like you know you're doing something that's not right for you, something like that going on could certainly be the case. But let's go ahead and see what else we have here. The problem position. So this is your current situation. In the problem position, you have the Knight of Swords. This is somebody who is, this is a call to action. This is striking while the iron is hot, if you will. Moving forward. And this can be, especially in a problem position, being impulsive. And so for some of you, there was a decision that was made, probably since we're talking about the swords here. So we have the 7 of Swords, we have the Knight of Swords. This is something to do with communication, Taurus. Did you say something that you wish you could have taken back? Or did you overhear something and then come to a quick conclusion? There's something around communication here that is challenging in this reading. Someone deceiving you potentially. And yeah, let's go keep moving forward here. I'll be interested to see what 3 cards come in to clarify. I'll be looking at those for this, but in the past, you have the Queen of Cups. This is somebody who's a trusted friend or ally, somebody that you can rely on, somebody that you can call, and they'll stay on the phone with you for hours talking through stuff. You know, this is also the energy of compassion, taking care of yourself. If someone else cannot do that, you know, sometimes you have to do that for yourself here. Sometimes you have to think for yourself, and that's what this Queen of Cups could be talking about as well here in the past. It could mean that a trusted friend betrayed you here with the Seven of Swords. That could certainly be the case because this trusted friend or ally is coming in from the past or the previous position, and now you're dealing with it in the present. You could, though, want to make sure that you are not jumping to a conclusion too quickly here, okay? In the future, you have the Two of Wands, which is research, planning, and discovery. This is someone who is kind of seeing the 2 paths or 2 or more paths in front of them, seeing the road ahead, and deciding which would be best for them. Where should they go? Which one should they travel down? And so it says that if you put in the work now with this Two of Wands, if you do the research, if you do the planning, the prep, all of that, you will get to the next card, which is the Three of Wands, which is expansion and growth and the initial success. And so there's going to be a period here where you're going to have to maybe go back to the drawing board, or you're going to have to research something. Some of you are quite literally doing that with the Page of Pentacles on the bottom. I would maybe, before you strike here with the Seven of and Knight of Swords, I would really make sure, I don't know why I'm getting this, but it's just I have to follow my intuition. Make sure you're well researched before you come to a conclusion on something. And this could be in any area of life, but I certainly feel like be careful of burning bridges, okay? With the energy that we have here in the middle and the cross here. Just be very cautious of that. Now, on your mind, on your thoughts, in your conscious awareness, you have the Ace of Wands. This is my personal favorite card in the tarot. This is passionate new beginnings. Okay, you have a real opportunity here for you. This is the spark of life. This is a card of turning a passion into a profit. It is my side hustles card as well. If you've been trying to do one of those, certainly a good sign for that. Really, any enterprise that is sort of started under the energy of the Ace of Wands typically does pretty well. You know, there's no time limit on that for how long that may take, but it does say that something's good. It's like planting some sort of seed that grows into a massive fire for yourself here, into a massive passion. And so for some of you, definitely on your mind here is some sort of new start. Some of you are saying, you know what, I'm not dealing with a gossiping, chatty type of office environment, and instead you're maybe you're going somewhere else. You could realize that you have a new start or a new beginning with another office or another situation in your life. In the bottom here, in the subconscious awareness, you have the Judgment. So your subconscious is really actually the hidden, the unseen. It's less about awareness and more about just your subconscious realm. And this Judgment card is a big card. Okay, this is rebirth. This is an awakening. This is the biggest card of karma in the tarot. But more importantly, this is self-evaluation here, this Judgment card. What do you need to get yourself to the world, which is number 21? This is 20, the next card's 21. What do you need to complete the cycle? And it says to sort of pump the brakes, take a look at what you've been doing, and think before you act in this case. In this Judgment, in this case, is more about logic and reason instead of intuition. And I don't always bring that in, obviously, in tarot readings, but with these swords energies and this Judgment card, it's like sometimes you have to do that sort of thing, right? So where you're headed here, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Magician. This is somebody who has all the tools, skills, and talents and resources necessary to be a major success. Okay, this is somebody who is the master manifester in the tarot, and they take all these tools and these resources at hand and they build something for themselves. They manifest something. They alchemize something. This is a very good card. It's also a card of taking action. So you have two cards here of taking action with the Knight of Swords in the problem position and the Magician. I will say there's this sort of dichotomy here of, you know, not being lazy, but also taking action, but also like being careful before you act. It's kind of an interesting message that we have here. I know it's not as clear. It's not as clear for me either. That's why we have these three cards to maybe clarify. But that's kind of what I'm getting right now. You're making something here. In your external influence, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is somebody who is talented, okay? This is the massive talent card in the tarot. And for you to get that with the Magician, to me signifies that you're able to make something for yourself. You know what I think you might be doing? You may be turning a less than great situation into a great situation. I feel like sometimes this person here, the Seven of Swords, who is maybe trying to deceive you or something like that, you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna like make the best out of this situation and I'm gonna move forward. And I think you're using a talent or a skill that you have in those areas to help yourself here. You also could be getting an opportunity through that with the Page of Pentacles as well below. So we have another ace here in your hopes and fears. So double aces, always a good sign in any reading. The Ace of Cups is a new romance. It's a new beginning in love. It could also be a new creative project. Some of you are birthing something, okay? This is the spark of life, the initial like fertility, if you will. The Ace of Cups is like potentially, this is one of these fertility or pregnancy cards here. This Ace of Cups. So some of you may be thinking about children. I know that's a bit of a narrow message, but and a bit of a off-topic message, but I do need to say that this is like a classic pregnancy combination. Others of you are concerned about a project. You're concerned maybe about being single as well. And some of you are just concerned that maybe there's someone undermining a project that you have in your mind with the Seven of Swords and this Ace of Cups. For some of you, it's research. In the outcome here, you have the Devil. So this is your shadows, okay? This is a card of your shadows. This is the hidden, repressed sides of ourselves, the parts of ourselves we don't show the world or other people here. And for you, you know, I feel like there's a conflict brewing. We'll see what card comes in here. But it's almost like it's very important that you handle a situation with integrity to get the Devil card in the outcome, because that's a card of addictions too. And some of you, I feel like, maybe want to avoid drama at this time. Reason being is you have this Judgment card in your unconsciousness, in the area that you can't see. And this karma, this Judgment card's like, look, you have to pay back the karma of the Devil if you dip into those energies. And so it's like, how are you handling the Seven of Swords? Can you come to a place of compassion for somebody who really is trying to like steal your work or undermine you or anything like that? If you can do that, you can really do anything. So let's go ahead and see what these three clarifiers are and see what card messages once you come forward. Okay, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is a financial event arriving. This is somebody who's hardworking and dependable. And I do feel like you have those qualities about yourself. You also now have two knights, Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles here. You know, you may be disappointed about someone who you thought you could depend on or rely on with that Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Seven of Swords, Knight of Swords situation going on. But regardless, to get two knights in a reading means that you're probably going to have a pretty busy October here, rest of October. And it could be relating to academic or financial situations, this whole thing. But I kind of laugh here because I said there's a conflict brewing, and guess what? You got the conflict card. These five people on the Five of Wands are sparring, okay? They're having a conflict. They're dealing with something here. And for some of you, yeah, there's this like, it's how you handle a conflict is going to determine something here. Whatever that might be for you, but it's very important how you handle this conflict with all of this energy here, with the Devil in the outcome, the Judgment in the unconscious, and, you know, someone deceiving you. I almost don't feel, It's so interesting because it could be self-sabotage. If you handle a conflict in the wrong way, you could be self-sabotaging, but at the same time it could be because someone's trying to sabotage you. It's so confusing. I think it's going to depend on who you are and what you're kind of bringing into this reading and what your scenario is. But you also have the world, so it looks like you are completing the cycle here. That's the good news. So you have 20 into 21, and the world is self-reflection. So while the judgment card is self-evaluation, this is self-reflection. And you're looking back on the cycle here and asking yourself what went wrong, what went right. And with the world card, it's the completion of a cycle. It's a major victory. So I do feel like there's something good happening here. So you have choose a new direction. What else do we have? Not the right time. And take action. So I've been saying in this whole reading, when you get the Knight of Swords, which you have right here in the problem position, and the Magician, 2 cards of taking action, and now you have that, it's going to take tact or just skill, especially as you get this 8 of Pentacles, card of skill, card of talent, to handle a tricky person or a challenging situation here. I think that's the message. So you have Privileged Lady that really wanted to pop out. Let's see what other cards want to come forward. By the way, that's a gossiper. And in their shadow, it could mean that you're trying to live a life of luxury, which is not a bad thing. But I also think it's somebody, you're dealing with a gossiper, thief, main male, change, coffin, marriage. Yeah, I mean, listen, so I would be very careful about what you share with somebody to get thief and Privileged Lady with the 7 of Swords and the coffin card. Could be a harsh ending for some of you around, or there's like some sort of harsh situation around communication, or yeah, I almost feel like there was even somebody who you thought you could trust and is now challenging you in some way. This could be all be around marriage. This could all be like around a marriage ending here with coffin and marriage. Changes are being made based on some sort of message that you get, and I would just keep these thoughts positive at this time. This is a challenging reading, but you have the skill that you need to complete the cycle, which it looks like you are in this reading. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, check out my website, zaneintuitive.com. I also want to say I'm very grateful to the people donating down below. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you in the next one.